welcome back to the channel. You join me next to my biomass boiler. Today's video is how it works, and I'm going to show you everything to do, the pros, the cons, how efficient it is, how much space we heat with it, and is it a viable heating source? So if you are interested, please like and subscribe, it means a lot, and let's go. So the history of why a biomass. 5 years ago, we built a 3,000 square foot barn, which we're in now. And we wanted to find a heating source for in the barn, but also in the offices and other areas. So we looked into gas, we looked into diesel, and then we looked at biomass. Now, I like the fact that you can burn wood or recycled material to generate heat, and it is very effective. So the main reason we chose it, because we're in the middle of nowhere, it's the countryside, it seemed like the right move for us. Where gas, you would have had to have an outside gas tank or a big gas tank, or have a diesel storage type setup. So for us, it was the way forward. So let me just show you around and show how it works. So you join me at the top of a boiler, okay? Here's the top of a boiler. Next to that is the hopper. So the hopper is basically where you pour your material to burn, okay? In our case, we are burning wood pellets, okay? So they literally are like almost a feed for a horse or something. So that is condensed wood. So that is your actual fuel. So when it goes into here, what happens is it spins, and then there's the first auger, and then that auger brings it along to the next auger. So let's go down and I'll show you where the next auger is. Okay, so we've come down the steps from the top where we were. Now, this is our secondary auger. So as you can see, this is the top auger, and then the bottom auger comes down here, okay? Now, when it goes along, it goes into the side of the boiler. So this is the actual boiler. So this auger runs up, goes inside. Now these two fans blow air under to make the flames more vigorous, and it basically just gets it going. So it goes from there into there. Now this one thing here is actually when you light it, so it's basically a hot air gun, and it blows onto the pellets and it will light. So let's move on to the actual boiler. So the boiler itself, this is where the flames are, in here. So let's open the door. Okay, so as you can see at the moment, it is smoking away. There's your pellets simmering, and that is the floor that I was talking about. And there is your actual fuel source. So because it is a bit smoky at the moment, it is on the fan. Let's close that door. So that's where the pellets actually get burned, okay, in there. So from there, we have this computer system and these pumps, but we'll get into that in a minute. From there, it runs through like a baffle, like that. And when it does that, it heats up water, okay? So it heats up all the water in there, and then obviously the exhaust, it has a fan and it is vented out through a chimney. So going back to the boiler, the way I look at it is it's basically a massive water tank with a fire in the middle, and it heats up the water, which gets pumped through these big pipes into this tank. Now from this tank, it can either get used on any of those pipes, heating water, heating radiators, but also heating big fans, and then it returns back into the tank. But then from the tank, it goes back into the boiler, and that process starts again. So it's like a big loop. So you have these very large pumps which are pumping, I think it pumps the whole of that through very, very, very quickly. And it's a non-stop cycle. So it is just a massive, big loop, really. It's very simple. It looks complicated, but it's very, very simple. So that is the actual boiler itself in simple terms. So what is the cons of having a biomass boiler? Okay, number one, you do have to manually load your fuel. So we get, as you can see here, pallets of these pellets. They come in 15 kg bags, and you do have to load it in, which is a bit of a faff. But that is one of the cons. Number two, augers. All right, augers sometimes have a mind of their own. They jam, they stop, and then what happens is it backs up and it overflows. So it doesn't happen a lot, but augers are definitely one of the things. Any type of fire, there's smoke. Sometimes you can smell it slightly if it's something it clears because it's obviously it's a big building, but there is a slight smell of smoke. So they're really the main. Oh, and the cost of installing them. A system like this is around 30,000 quid. So from that point of view, they're not cheap. And we're only using a fraction of the power. So if we wanted, for instance, to extend the building or build other barns, which we are actually building a new barn for the equipment, that is able to keep going. You could do 2 or 3 of these buildings quite easily. So even though it is expensive, if you want to increase what you're doing, if you get a big enough one, within reason, you could power 10 homes out of it. So it's expensive for one, but not on the bigger scale. So that's really the cons of having a biomass boiler. Okay, efficiency. If you leave the biomass on all the time, it is relatively efficient. So it will probably burn between 3 and 4 bags a day. Now those bags, I can't remember exactly how much, but it's about £200 a month to have full heating in a building that's 3,500 square foot with hot water running all the time. Everything's relative. There may be more efficient ways for you. You also can run these on wood chip. So that is a recycled material, again, from, say, a dried wood chip from like a tree surgeon or something along those lines. Now, ours, we can't, because our augers and other reasons are not set up for it. If you can get the chip or you are someone who has lots of chip, it becomes very, very, very cheap to run. So from that point of view, if you are someone who's looking at off-grid living, it is a good solution for your heating. So everyone, it was just a quick oversight about how it works and is it worth having. In my opinion, in the right settings, you can't beat them, okay? You cannot beat them. But I'll let you decide, and please put in the comments if you want any more videos on how things work. I've got so much equipment on the farm, I'm happy to do anything you lot want, because I'm ultimately doing it for you. Everyone, have a wonderful day.